All right. This is America's favorite plus-size fitness guru, Robert Fat Bob White. You're listening to the Areola Hour, the only show where you get to listen as I, Fat Bob, chug some beer, make some prank calls, hang out with my friends, have a good time, and most importantly, discuss my favorite topic in the world, broads. I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. We have a very special guest, but as always, we're going to kick this off with a really good song by my friend Sire. So, here we go.
What are you doing? I'm in a trance, and I can't let go. Feel my desire. When my nature's a flame, only you know how to put out the fire. My heart is pumping and it's skipping a beat. My knees are shaking every time that we meet. My soul is racing, but I can't move my feet. I must be hypnotized by you. Hypnotized. Hypnotized by you. Hypnotized. I'm hypnotized by you. When I'm losing my mind, you seem to put it together. When I'm lost in the storm, only you know how to change the weather. And I'm so happy to be kicking with you. And I don't even know if you can be true. Tell me, baby, what you want me to do, because I'm hypnotized by you. Hypnotized. You know I'm hypnotized by you. Hypnotized. You got me hypnotized by you.
All right. And we are back. I'd like to thank you once again for joining us this evening. We are having lots of fun. I've got my man here, Bryce. Just to make a formal announcement, Bryce is now my co-host. He will be acting as co-host.
Vice President.
Vice President, thank you for correcting me. Also, he's going to be our webmaster. We'll be putting up a website, and we're going to take the Areola Hour to some strange new places. But right now, as always, I have sitting in front of me my drink. Tonight, I've got my small batch bourbon, 4 Roses. Man, this stuff is something else. And it seems I'm the only one with an adult beverage who's joining us tonight. So here I am, brokenhearted. Fuck it, let's just drink. Woo-wee! I'm really glad you all are joining us tonight. As I mentioned before, I have a wonderful guest. In addition to my new co-host Bryce, we're going to be talking about some of the newer projects we're coming into here on the Areola Hour. But first, I would like to introduce my friend Clarence. Hey, Clarence, how are you tonight, buddy?
Hello, buddy. I am well. I'm good. How are you guys? You sound well.
Oh, man, I am wonderful. How about you, Bryce?
I'm doing great. Doing great, Clarence.
Bryce is good. That's good. We got Bryce in the house. That's good. That's good.
With Bryce, everything is nice.
I agree.
Sugar and Bryce.
Yeah. Though I haven't met you yet, Bryce, I hope to meet you, my friend. But
yeah,
I know
me
you're
too.
a good man.
I hear you're a good guy.
Recommend.
So, Clarence, as you recall, you and I had met at registration there at SPC. I understand that since then you've graduated, you've gotten your degree, you're moving on up, and you had discussed with me your most recent project. It's a documentary film featuring yourself. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Well, absolutely. The documentary is entitled Traveling with Angels. It is a film project on addiction, sobriety, and the street experience. My life is based partially on my life of being on the streets and getting clean and sober and going back to school. So yes, and I'm writing the book. There's a book that accompanies that. A lot of stuff we couldn't get in the film that I had to put in the book. For instance, the weight loss stuff. People wanted to hear about how I went from 300 pounds down to 170 in a matter of months and how I kept it off. So we couldn't get all of that in the film and some things like that. So that's in the book also. Yes. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Well, my hat's off to you on that, Clarence. That's very commendable as far as going back to school, getting your degree, and your new life and sobriety. And I have to mention that is rather impressive that you managed to lose all that weight in such a short period of time. As for myself, I am America's favorite plus-size fitness guru. Well, were you aware of this?
Yeah, you are, and I'm proud of you. I am.
Oh, thank you very much. You see, I take a daily supplement of anabolic steroids, PCP, and Flintstones vitamins.
Oh, wow. My goodness.
That's why.
Go ahead, my friend.
Well, I'm just gonna say that's why I'm sexy like that.
Well, you know what? Life is a pragmatic affair. If something works, you got to roll with it. So if that's working for you, hey, my hat's off to you, brother.
Oh, thank you very much. Speaking of which, my daughter and I were out at the pool here where we stay for about 2 hours earlier, having a really good time, giving sodas to the kids. I had a couple beers out there, and on the way back in, I'm coming back. I've got my trunks all dripping wet. Okay. I've got my shirt open, and I'm carrying the cooler on my shoulder, like a real man. And
like a real man, of course.
It is the only way I do it. And
right.
One of the neighbors is sitting on the hood of her car smoking a square. She sees me coming, dripping wet. I've got my shirt open, and she said, That's sexy. And you know what? You know what really hurts though
No.
is that I know she was kidding.
What did she say?
She said she pointed at me with my shirt open and everything. She said that's sexy.
That's sexy?
Yes, but I know that I could tell by her tone that she was being facetious.
Okay. She
And
was actually trying to put you down.
yeah, that was the impression that I had gotten, and it's it's
I can't imagine anyone doing that.
oh well, thank you. It's just a very awkward transition. You see,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I was quite the heartthrob. Okay, I mean,
Okay, were you buffed?
I was buff. I
Are
was.
you buffed now?
I'm big.
Okay, but not quite buff.
Well, let's
Well,
just
maybe that's where she was getting that from. But please go ahead. You said you were young and you were beautiful, and what happened there, then?
yeah. Well, let's just say that before I move on from there, let's say that I upgraded. Okay, I upgraded from
Okay.
a 6-pack to a keg.
Oh, I get you.
Now I'm hauling.
Wow.
Now I'm
And that's-
hauling around a keg everywhere I go.
Well, I get you. Well, you know that, and that still is. I think it's still downright cruel. That's really no justification to make fun of you like that.
Well, thank you, Clarence. I got her back, you know. I didn't put her down in any way. Basically,
Mhm.
you know, it's always been. Eventually, I came to the realization that if someone tries to put you down in any way, that you run with it. You make it clear that
Yeah.
whatever it is to which they make reference, you're content. You're okay with that. That's why, you know, my daughter's little friend is. She says something about possibly being locked out, and I'm about to start dinner. So at this point, I feel compelled to make dinner for her too. I sent my daughter outside to go looking for her friend to see if she was
Right.
locked out, whatever the situation was.
Okay.
It's taking a minute, so I go outside to check on her. I see my daughter coming back from around the way, and now this broad across the street, she's out there with her dude. Okay.
Okay.
You know, a nerdy, bald guy with glasses out there with her, and I go out there, still got my shirt open and my trunks, and I told her, I said, it's time to come in now, baby, because I'm Mr. Sexy Man. And I said that right in front of her. Her dude's looking at her like, you know, what was that all about? She said, I don't know.
I don't know.
So.
That's great.
So as we're going into the house, I take off my shirt and I whip it around my head, talking about woo-wee.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, point being that I just took it and I threw it right back in her face.
That's right.
And
That's right. Because I think what it is, she thinks you're a stud muffin, and she's trying to cover up her feelings for you.
You think so?
Yeah. That's it.
Well,
Never failed.
well, when I'm peeping in her window tonight, I'll take that into consideration. It will relieve me of some of that guilt, among other things.
Oh, that's funny. I love that.
Well,
You're great, man. That's yeah. I think that's what it is, though. Yeah.
Well, I've got one for you. This is true, actually. Did you know that McDonald's of America has discontinued the use of their beloved character Grimace? Do you remember him?
McDonald's of America?
Yeah. Do you remember the Grimace character on the McDonald's commercials?
The which character?
His name was Grimace. Big purple guy, very rotund.
Yes, I do remember him.
Well,
What happened to him? I thought what happened?
Well, McDonald's of America actually did away with him. They discontinued the use of his character and their marketing and advertising on account of the America's obesity epidemic. This is true. Now, as you know, people are everyone's looking for a meal ticket. Everyone's quick to blame McDonald's and sue them, insisting that you know they're the reason why they got fat. Well, this is my thing. When a girl across the street catches me peeping through her window and calls the police, I'm gonna sue Burger King because their mascot made me creepy.
Okay, I see how you're tying it all together.
Yeah,
And I can see how our court would rule in your favor too.
oh, well, thank you. Are you familiar with the Burger King guy?
Not that well, but a little.
Okay. You know what he says?
No, what did he say?
He creeps in your bedroom and he says, "Rah, boogie, 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 boogie."
He does.
No.
No, you don't.
No, but
That's
that.
just your.
What's that?
Does he do that, or are you making it up?
I made that part up.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were. Okay.
But he is.
I wonder. I was beginning to worry because I know it's not too long before you make something up. So yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm good now. I can relax. Okay. Go ahead. Tell me more.
But keep me on the edge. Well, why don't you tell the listeners how I tried to get you? Or this is the thing. You're too quick. I can never get you. Each time I call you, I had to disguise my voice. But you know it was me.
You got me the first night. You got me.
Oh, with the Ernie voice?
No, you were saying that. Well, you know, I'm a big sobriety person. I'm a big advocate for sobriety and non-addiction. And you were saying that you were naming all these drugs that you did, and you were saying it's really good for you. And I didn't catch that. I was saying, yeah, it must be. You had me going on that. So.
I said that drugs are good for you?
Pardon me?
I said that drugs are good for you?
Well, you named a few that were good.
It sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, you did say it. But it was good, though, the way you did it.
Okay.
It was pretty funny, though. It was pretty funny. It was.
I remember this one time, another true story. My brother, you see, as for myself, when it comes to drugs, I've, experimented. I never really used any drugs consistently, but along with my brother,
but you didn't inhale.
Well, I did inhale. And I inhaled a few mushrooms in my day too.
Wow. Okay, go ahead. What happened? Tell us the rest of it.
Well, every time I experimented with a new drug, it was always with my brother, and he was the one who's been a little more avid with the drugs. But this one night in particular, at the time he was living with his first wife, I was living with our auntie, and I wasn't on anything, but he was. He had did some mushrooms. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Have you done the mushrooms before?
Myself?
Yeah.
No, I was spared that experiment. No. Okay. I made up for it with other things, though. But no, the hallucinogens. I just stuck to heroin was my big problem.
Okay.
Alcohol and heroin were the only two. But go ahead. I kind of know what it's about. I've been around people. But tell me what happened to him.
Fair enough. Well, I must say that I've done my share of drinking heroin and shooting alcohol.
Wow. Okay.
But to answer your question, his first wife didn't know that he would. When they first started kicking it, they used to do acid together and have these wild journeys and experiences together. But
wow.
Okay.
Woodstock kind of thing.
Exactly. And she outgrew that, and she, as my brother put it, turned into a grandma overnight, or maybe that was just one of his hallucinations. But anyways, his wife was out with her dad. They're bar hopping, and that was their one vice. They were social drinkers, always. And her dad was in a band and always hitting the bars and stuff. So
sure.
She gets home from the bar.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, well, anyhow, Bryce just cut one. I was wondering if you heard it.
Was it a UFO type thing?
No, no, but it smells out of this world.
Oh my God! Who was that?
It was Bryce.
It was Grimace.
I thought you said everything about Bryce was nice. What happened there? What happened there?
This is.
Are you conscious?
I don't know, man, but this is...
As long as you're conscious, just keep going as if nothing happened. Don't worry about it.
This is spicy, not so nicey.
Spicy, but not okay. Wow.
So, anyways, my brother, his wife gets home while he's peaking. And for those who are not familiar, peaking is that point after 4 to 6 hours in the middle of a quote-unquote trip where your high is at its peak. And he knew that he would in his condition wouldn't be able to conceal this from his wife.
What? Yeah, right.
So he needed a reason to avoid her for like the next 1 or 2 hours. And mind you, this is only about 10 years ago. I'm living with my auntie. She still didn't have call waiting. And she said, you better not be sitting up on the phone all night. I'm expecting a call from Beulah in Ohio. And only one phone in the house. And when when that phone died, that was it. So my brother calls me. He said, hey, man, she's home. She's upstairs right now, but I'm afraid she's going to know. Can you just talk to me for the next 2 hours?
Talking down, sort of, right?
Yeah, pretty much, or at least give him. He wasn't freaking out. He was cool when it came to drugs. He just needed a reason to avoid his wife and therefore conceal this.
Oh, so he can be on the phone. Okay, I get it. All right, I'm with you.
So, we're talking, and he's talking actually, and I said, Mark, I really got to let you go in a minute because Aunt Inez is expecting this call from Beulah, and he said, fuck her.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
And at this time I had this friend, to give you an idea, he actually kind of even looked like Cleveland from Family Guy in the Cleveland show. Are you familiar with the character?
Yeah. Right, yeah, a little.
Well, I was telling him about how my brother and I would do mushrooms together, and he never heard of mushrooms before, and I explained to him, I said, well, back in the day they grew on cow flops, but now they have ways of genetically engineering them, and my brother buys them from the dude who grows them in an aquarium, and sometimes they come in chocolate. So I called this dude on three-way without any prior warning. I didn't tell my brother, so all of a sudden he hears another voice on the phone, and he doesn't know what to think. And I said, hey, Jerry, do you remember those special mushrooms I told you that my brother and I like to do sometimes? He said, yeah. I said, well, my brother's on the phone right now, and he's on those. And then he said, y'all on the cow pies?
Oh, man.
Fun,
Oh, God.
fun stuff. Well, last time we spoke, you had told me a rather humorous story about when you were 14 years old, and there was a friend of yours, and do you remember where I'm going with this?
I do remember where you're going with this, yes.
Well, would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, I had an interesting life. I was raised by wolves, okay? Wolves in the form of drug kingpins, pimps, serial killers, things like that. And I was over at one of my pimp friend's house. He was a pimp, and he had several ladies. These were not just streetwalkers. These were not what people refer to as crack whores. These were like upper-level girls. These were really high-class hookers.
Good to know.
So I knew them. Pardon me?
Good to know.
Did I what?
No, I was just saying that it's good to know that they were, high class.
Well, yeah, they were. He was very successful at it. He was very wealthy. And so I was over their house, and they all knew me. Many of them were my sister's friends. My sister was several years older than me. She was about 19 or 20. I was 14, 16. But anyway, I had been talking to one of his ladies, and they knew that I had a knack for reading philosophy, Aristotle, Socrates, Immanuel Kant, Karl Marx, that I was interested in that. So they found that fascinating that a kid my age, 14 or 15 years old, would be into that kind of literature. So they called me Dynamite. That was the nickname they gave. So They said, so we're sitting around their house, and and they're smoking non-cigarettes and naked and half naked. And one of them say, "Hey, Dynamite, share with the rest of them the story you were telling me about cunt." I say, "The story about what?" She said, "You know, cunt." I say, she said, "The philosopher, Kant." I say, "Kant, Immanuel Kant, that's what you mean." She said, "Yeah, there it is. Tell them about that." So I went on to explain to them, that Immanuel Kant said that we all need a central moral principle to guide our behavior. And I was trying to explain deontology is what it was. But I mean, I guess the hilarity is that I was this 14-year-old kid, giving a professorial lecture to 3 naked hookers on ethics and morality. So that was one of the funny stories from my life. And interesting the way she was pronouncing Immanuel Kant's last name. She was calling him Kant. So, yeah, it was pretty fun.
That is great.
So a true story. True story.
Well, let me ask you this: did any of these women of the night with whom you associated, what did they charge back then for a Dirty Sanchez?
What were their prices? You mean?
For a Dirty Sanchez.
Okay, I don't know what a Sanchez is, but I can tell you what I knew about that. All right, about them and their prices. Right.
Well,
they mainly charged. They charged by the hour. Is how they did it. And whatever happened, unless it was something really, really weird. But mainly that's how they did it. I mean, you got what you got for the hour.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know what a Sanchez is, but I'm sure they could work it out.
Well, see, that's Dirty Sanchez. And I
don't know what it is.
Well, Dirty Sanchez is a digital penetration of the rectum during doggy-style sex before reaching around and smearing the contents across a person's face, making it appear as though they have a brown mustache.
Okay, well now wait, did you say, okay, oh my God, okay, you know what, I've been on the streets all my life, and I've heard some weird stuff, I never heard that one, but I'm sure that there was someone in his stable, and that's what he called it, a stable.
That's what they call like a gaggle of hoes. They call them a stable, and like that you're like the first
exactly.
one, the foundation. That was your bottom bitch. Yeah, you had
exactly.
You had
That's right. See, now that's old pimp talk. The guys these days, they wouldn't know what you jitterbugs wouldn't know what you're talking about. That's right. That's old pimp talk.
Exactly. Did he have any Jasper broads in his stable?
Any Jasper? No, I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, that's going back to like the 30s.
Jasper. That's going way back. Yeah, right. What is that?
A Jasper is a lesbian.
Oh no, he did not. Those guys really got upset with lesbian broads. There's 2 things they didn't like. The pimps didn't like, at least the ones I grew up around: drugs and lesbians.
Really?
They felt like. Yeah, well, they felt like drugs would, be bad for the girls, and obviously they were, because the streets have changed so much now. I mean, now you could pick up girls for $5 and $10, but back then when I was growing up, that was unheard of. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well,
so they were probably right about the drugs.
I guess I could never be a pimp because I'm quite fond of drugs and lesbians myself. Okay. I mean, not drugs so much, but
well, that wouldn't work for you at all.
Well,
it would not, man.
Not drugs so much, but definitely lesbians.
That's funny. I love that.
We are just about out of time. That. We are just about out of time. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. They may have upgraded my account. So let's see. 3, 2, 1.
I love it.
You know what? We're still rolling. So we got you for another half hour. How much does Clarence charge for the hour?
How much? What now? Say again, please.
Well, if we were to get one of your old hoe friends on the show,
how much would they charge me or anyone?
How much would they charge me for coming on my show?
Oh, $75, but that was a lot of money back then. Yeah, about $75 for an hour.
Just for being on the show, but I'm paying them for their time.
Wait, you mean to get one of them to come on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably have to talk to Missouri Joe, which is their pimp. I'd probably have to talk to Missouri Joe about it.
Well, do you have
And,
his number?